Welcome students. Today we have taken a topic for quality control and standardization of herbal drugs for the elective subject, in which European Union and International Council of Harmonization for Pharmaceutical Industry Establishment and their products guidelines for quality control of herbal drugs. So these guidelines, it's in our topic, which we have to study according to how to write your examination point of view, because we have various guidelines even given by WHO. So what's the difference between this European Union and the International Council of Harmonization for Pharmaceutical Industries for the establishment of their products? How they made this control over the herbal drugs. And we can even ask in this manner, that is guidelines, you can say that this is a guidelines for the quality of the herbal medicine products and the traditional practice or alternative medicine, traditional practice of medicinal products in various countries have been given a guidelines by European Union and International Council of Harmonization for Pharmaceutical Industries. So here, before going to the topic, we should know that the international conference which held and which made the harmonization of technical requirements for registration of pharmaceuticals, that means pharmaceutical products including herbal products for human use, ICH, is a joint initiative and the export of pharmaceutical industry of Europe, Japan and the United States to discuss the scientific and the technical aspects of pharmaceutical product registration. And just some of the chronology, that means for some of the history, some of the meetings, that is, for example, in 1980s, European Union began harmonizing regulatory requirements. In 1989, Europe, Japan and United States began creating plans for harmonization. In 1990, International Council for Harmonization of Pharmaceutical Industries and Establishments was created in April 1990 at a meeting in Brussels. The International Council of Harmonization of Technical Requirement for Pharmaceuticals for Human Use brings together the medicine regulatory authorities and pharmaceutical industry around the world. The International Council of Harmonization of Herbal Pharmaceutical Industries aims to achieve greater harmonization worldwide for the development and approval of safe, effective and high quality medicines in the most resource efficient manner. The European Medicine Agency, EMA, is collaboration with the European Union member states, supports the European Commission's membership in International Council of Harmonization and plays a key role in the development and implementation of International Council Harmonization for Pharmaceutical Industry guidelines. So, we should know what is the main role of EMA. And European Union guidelines for quality control of herbal drugs have been given by the European Medicine Agency's Committee for Herbal Products for Human and Veterinary Use. Prepares scientific guidelines in consultation with regulatory authorities in European Union, member states, to help applicants prepare marketing authorization application for human and veterinary medicine on use. So what's the scope of this guidelines given by European Union and ICH? The guidelines intends to cover the general quality aspects of herbal medicine products for human and veterinary use, including traditional herbal medicine products for human use products containing chemical defined isolated constituents or a mixture thereof are not herbal medicine products. So you see, in these guidelines they are including even certain herbal products, isolated compounds we used to give as a drug, and sometimes in a crude form, sometimes in combinations, and which are meant for herbal medicine products. So all comes under in this to control and to give the traditional medicine practice to have a safety and an quality and efficacy for the use of the herbal medicine. The consistent quality for the product of herbal origin can only be assured if the starting material, including from the harvesting area, cultivation area, the starting material of the herbal drug are defined in a rigorous and detailed manner, particularly the specific botanical details, botanical identity of the plant material used. It is also important to know the geographical, where it is collected, where it is cultivated, geographical source, and the conditions under which the herbal substance is obtained to ensure material of consistent quality. So now the topic comes for the regulatory in this qualitative and quantitative particulars of active substances of the herbal medicine product, how they differentiated in this guidelines. That's very important for the students to know. They are made into three categories: standard, standardized, quantified, and other herbal drugs. Like that they have mentioned into three parts, that once if you know the differentiation, so that it will be easy for you to undergo the whole guidelines which they have given, and even it is easy for you to express in the examination point of view. All herbal substances, herbal preparation, they made herbal substances or herbal preparation. All the three categories they made it, maybe herbal substances or herbal preparations, are essentially defined by their production process and their specifications. Number one, the category was standardized. herbal substance or herbal preparation are adjusted to a given content of constituent with a known therapeutic activity within an acceptable tolerance. Standardization is achieved by adjustment of the herbal substance or herbal preparation with excipients, or by blending only the powder form without excipients, only powder form, the crude form, batches of herbal substances or herbal preparations. So this standardized powdered form, maybe in the crude or adding some excipients, or maybe without only powdering. And the second one is quantified, known amount of the active principle. So quantified herbal substance, herbal or preparations are adjusted to a defined range. It is given a range. If an alkaloids present from a range 1 to 10 to 20% or 10 grams to 20 grams, a range. Constituents, active markers have been given, active constituents have given. Adjustment is exclusively achieved by blending, communiting, batches, blending the batches, preparing the batches of herbal substances and or herbal preparations. Number 3, the third category which they made for the guidelines, other herbal substance. What is this other herbal substances, that is herbal preparations, are active substances for which neither constituents with known therapeutic activity nor active markers are known. Simply they used to mention the label of the product with the crude material without knowing the non-therapeutic activity exactly. There is no quantitative or there is no standardized, nor it is having no active markers, the constituents are not known. These herbal substances or herbal preparations are not adjusted to a defined content of analytical markers. So you have seen two words, analytical markers and active markers. What is the difference between analytical markers and active markers? Active markers means they are present in the crude drug or the herbal preparations of the active principles, active constituents. What do you mean by analytical markers? They are specifically, they are not for therapeutic use, but they are for analytical purpose of chemical substances which have been used for identifying various active markers. That is, analytical markers can be used for identifying active markers. Like that, even you can have an understanding. In case where excipients for the manufacturers of active substances are used, example for technological reason or for adjustment of standardized herbal substances preparation, substances or preparations. The name of the quantity of these excipients have to be stated in the application. And this is a small picture which I made and a small slide which is made to just the content of the previous slides of 3 categories. They have differentiated in 3 categories. See, they made into 3 categories of herbal substances or preparations. What are the 3? First one, they made a standardized herbal substances or herbal preparation. Second one is quantified herbal substances or herbal preparation. Third one is other herbal substances or herbal preparation. So easy for the students to remember. And what is inside, just before we have seen, that is constituents with known therapeutic activity. Adjusted to the second one, quantified means adjusted to defined range of constituents, that is active markers or active principles of the particular herbal drug. Other herbal substance means substances, that is, for example, neither constituents with known therapeutic activity nor active markers are known. So the active principle or the therapeutic activity is not known, but there may be sometimes a combination of the drug which can be prepared. So these three categories they have prepared, they have differentiated by European Union and ICH, International Council of Harmonization for Pharmaceutical, Technological Industries and Products. Herbal substance and herbal preparation consist of comminuted, that means powdered or powdered, comminuted, size reduced herbal substance. The grade of comminution, the grade of substance or the powder material has to be given further the following indication. Example number 1, we made into 3: standardized, quantified and other herbal substance or herbal preparation. These 3 always the students have to remember. So in that first example, for first one, in case of standardized substance, we are talking about herbal substance, not herbal preparation. So first we are talking about powdered herbal substance. Example, we have 2: herbal substance and herbal preparation. So in case of herbal substances, in case of standardization, the quality of the substance preparation shall be given with a range of corresponding to the defined quantity of the constituents known therapeutic activity. So example is given like Senna-Folium 415 to 500 milligram corresponding to 12.5 milligram of hydroxy anthracene glycosides calculated as Sinoside B. We know this drug leaf which can be powdered, and so that it is called the standardized form. And the second one, in the case of quantification, the guideline says the quantity of the herbal substance preparation shall be stated as a distinct content, and the content of the quantified substances shall be specified with a range. So that's an example which we have taken. Salicylic cortex is an example which we have taken 4 grams corresponding to, we have given a range of 40 to 48 milligram of total phenolic glycosides expressed as salicin. And the third one, other cases. So 3 types: standardized, quantified and other cases of herbal substances. So in other cases of herbal substances, the quantity of the herbal substance of quantity of genuine herbal preparation shall be stated as a distinct content. Example, active principle of Velarine radix 900 milligram, directly the powder is given. So this is the difference which we have for substance. The same thing examples can be given for herbal preparation also. That is herbal substance, this is herbal preparation. Herbal preparation produced by steps which exceeds the that is commutation or comminution, exceeds the size reduction. We are preparing into a formula preparations, there is lot of procedures which you are made and the product is produced. In that case, the herbal preparations produced by steps which exceeds comminution, exceeds the size reduction, exceeds the powdering methods, the nature and the concentration of the solvent and the physical state of the extract have to be given. If you are doing an extraction, if you are doing an isolation, if you are taking the residue, if you are taking the mark, if you are taking the outcome of the product, that state of physical state should be mentioned in your application and on your product. Number one example for standardized extract. One example. Previously, as we said, for standardized powder or standardized herbal substances, this is herbal products. For that standardized extract, an example which we are giving, the equivalent quantity of the herbal substance in the ratio A to B is to 1 of the herbal substance to the genuine herbal preparation shall be stated, and the quantity of the genuine herbal preparation may be given as a range corresponding to the defined quantity of these constituents. Example, Senefolium is the second as an example. Dried extract, the same example. We are giving what extract? Ethanolic extract of 60% volume by volume, calculated by A to B is to 1, given as Senoside B, in which is present is 50 to 65 milligram, corresponding to 12.5 milligram of hydroxy anthracene glycosides, which may be present, equivalent to calculate as Senoside B. This is the example. And for second one, quantify extract, the equivalent quantity of the herbal substance of ratio A to B is to 1. The herbal substance of genuine herbal preparation shall be stated in quantity of genuine herbal preparation has been given in a distant content. Further content quantified substance shall be stated in a range or specified in a range. I am repeatedly telling, specified in a range, that is called the example which you can say ginkgo folium, which is told as a range 60 milligram of the quantity containing 13.2 to 16.2 milligram of flavonoids expressed as flavone glycosides, and 1.68 to 2.04 milligram of gingagoglides A, B, C are present, which is shown in an extract of acetonic extract 60% volume by volume in A to B constituencies to 1. So they said as a range for quantifying. Another extract in a crude manner, the equivalent quantity of the herbal substance will be ratio of 1 A to B is to 1 of herbal substance to the genuine herbal preparation shall be stated, and the quantity of the genuine herbal preparation has to be given as a distinct content. So for that example, directly we can say the same example, valerian extract, dried extract, which is done by ethanolic 60% volume by volume, A to B is to 1, quantity 120 milligram. So two of them, we have made 3 examples for each. One example, like one is for herbal materials, another one is for herbal preparations. So now we are coming to description part. How to describe, what all the description we have. This is guidelines only we are giving. Guidelines, that is, for example, by European Union and International Council of Harmonization for Pharmaceutical Industry throughout the world. And description of the method of preparation of the herbal medicine product. The manufacturing process within the meaning of the section is the preparation of the herbal medicine product from herbal substance and or herbal preparations. In the case of traditional herbal medicine products, the human use, the manufacturing process within the meaning of this section is the preparation of herbal medicine product from herbal substances and or herbal preparation and or vitamins or minerals. The description should include details of the process together with the control excised. The description should include details of the process together with the controls excised. This section should be accordance with the note for guidance on manufacture of the finished dosage form, and the law number has been given in 1995. not 1995, the number it is 95, sorry. And note the guidelines or guidance manufacture for finished dosage form is also given EMEA, CVMP and 126 in 95. If herbal preparations are stated starting material, the manufacture of the herbal preparations and their controls should not be located under this section, but under the section of control of starting material, the next chapter, next slide. Control of the starting material, starting from the collection and harvesting. And even it is not necessary the manufacturer, even it should be applied for a non-manufacturer who is cultivator also have to apply for this license. So you can see that CPMP means Committee of Proprietary Medicinal Product. QWP means Quality of Water for Pharmaceutical Use. EMEA means European Medicine Evaluation Agency. CVMP means Committee for Veterinary Medicine Products. So these are some of the abbreviations which we are using for the laws and the committees, so just I mentioned that. So in control of starting material, the first one is control of herbal substance first. Control of herbal substance. So a competitive specification for each herbal substance must be submitted. This also applies if the applicant is not manufacturer of the herbal substance. If the starting material is a herbal preparation, example, in case of fatty or an essential oil used as an active substance, the herbal products of specification for the herbal substance is required unless fully justified. The binomial scientific name of the plant, genus, species, variety and the author, and the chemotype, constituents, chemotype where applicable, and name of the part which you are using also should be stated. Whether you are using seed or fruit or leaf or a stem, have to be specified very clearly the starting material. If no monograph of the herbal substance is given in pharmacopoeia or European pharmacopoeia or an Indian pharmacopoeia or a British pharmacopoeia or whichever the country which they have the pharmacopoeia, a comprehensive specification for the herbal substance must be supplied, and it should be set out of the same way where practicable, in which country it is practicable, that pharmacopoeia should be followed, and that monograph as a monograph of the herbal substance of European pharmacopoeia have to be taken consideration. The information of the site of collection, the time of harvesting and the stage of growth, treatment during growth, and the pesticides what you have used, drying, what type of procedure you have used, and the storage condition what you have done, all should be included if possible. The comprehensive specification should be established on the basis of recent scientific data. In the case of herbal substance with constituents of known therapeutic activity, assays of their content with a test procedure are required. The content must be included as a range so as to ensure reproducibility of the quality of the herbal medicine product. In the case of herbal substance where constituents of known therapeutic activity are known, assay of the marker substance, assay of the active marker substance with a test procedure is also should be included, it should be added. The choice of the marker should be justified. The choice of the analytical marker should be justified. You have to compare with the standard analytical marker for any constituents. As a general rule, herbal substance must be tested unless otherwise justified for the microbiological quality and for the residue of pesticides and the fumigation agents, toxic metals which may be present, like contaminants and adulterants, etc. should be tested. The use of ethylene oxide, use of acetylene oxide ethylene oxide is prohibited for decontamination of herbal substances. Radioactive contamination should be tested for if there are reasons for concerns, specifications and descriptions of the analytical procedure must be submitted together with the limit applied by the guidelines. Analytical procedures not given in the pharmacopoeia should be validated in accordance with the International Council of Harmonization of Pharmaceutical Technology Industries. Control of herbal preparation. Previously control of herbal materials, now control of herbal preparations. If the herbal medicinal product contain a preparation, the comprehensive specification for the herbal substance must be followed by a description and validation of the manufacturing process. This also applies if the applicant is not a manufacturer, if he is only a cultivar or bringing somewhere and also harvester or a herbal preparation, even though if he is not the herbal preparation, he is not manufacturing but he is the starting product, he is bringing the material for the herbal material, he has to apply even if he is not even a manufacturer, or even he is a loan licensed person. If he makes another person to manufacture and if he market also, it is necessary for to follow these guidelines and follow this application. So the information may be supplied either by a part of the marketing authorization application, one who maybe one will manufacture, another will market. So a part of the marketing authorization application, or by using the European active substance master file procedure. So if a person is applying by the European active substance master file procedure, then that is the later route, that means the second route. If you are choosing for application, the documentation should be submitted in accordance with the guidelines of the active substance master file procedure. Substance active substance master file procedure of European Union, the number which is specified in this slide. The preparation of the subject of European Pharmacopoeia monograph, EDQM, European Directorate of the Quality of Medicine and Herbal Care, certification procedure can be used to demonstrate compliance with the relevant European Pharmacopoeia monograph. For each herbal preparation, a comprehensive specification is required. This should be established on point by point I made. When you read something in your handout, it will be easy, it will be difficult for you. So I made by point which you can remember. How we discussed about the scope, how we discussed about the three differentiation for the European Union guidelines. The same thing. So it should be established on the basis of the recent scientific data first, and should be particular and give particulars of the characteristic and identification test and purity test, and appropriate chromatographic methods should be used. Very simple, you can remember all these 5 points. And if it is deemed, that means if it is necessary, if it is must for you to do this analysis for starting material, then you have to perform all microbiological quality, residue for the pesticide, and the fumigation agents, and the solvents, toxic metals should be performed for analysis if anything is present. So I made it into a slide to make you to understand by means of what we have discussed in the previous slide. So what should be, you have to remember, each herbal preparation of comprehensive specification required basis of the recent scientific data. Just now we have seen. The second one is particulars of the characteristics. Third one is purity test. fourth one is identity test, and the fifth one is chromatographic methods which should be followed. So this we can remember, and the specification required, and the second slide you can see when it is deemed. Suppose if it is necessary or if it is deemed necessary, if by analysis is required, you should go for microbiological quality of the product, see the residue of the pesticides present in the herbal products, and see the fumigation agents which may be present, test for toxic metals which are present, and identify the solvents which is present, which is used in the starting material. So these two slides which give you the previous slides summary. Radioactivity should be tested if there is a reason for concern. A quantitative determination assay of markers or of substance with known therapeutic activity is also required. For standard herbal preparation, the content of constituents with known therapeutic activity must be indicated with the lowest possible tolerance, with both upper and lower limits should be mentioned. So on the case of active markers, active principle, active constituents, the quantitative or quantified extract, the content of the marker has to be given as a defined range. That examples which we have seen before, defined range. In the case of analytical markers of an extract which neither constituents of known therapeutic activity nor an activity markers are not known, that means neither or nor, validate the analytical range of the basis on the analytical stability or suitability. The test methods should be described in detail on the description. So if the preparation from herbal substance with constituents of known therapeutic activity are standardized, it should be stated how you standardize, how such standardization is achieved. If another substance is used along with the purpose, for that purpose it is necessary to be specified as a range of quantity which you have added if another substance is added. Control of vitamins and minerals are applicable, in which we are saying vitamins and minerals which should be ancillary substances in traditional medicine products of human use should fulfill the requirements of guidelines summary of requirements for active substances in qualitative part of the dossier, and control for excipients which you are adding for the preparation. Excipients include those added during the manufacture of herbal preparation should be described according to the note of the guidance on excipients in the dossier for application for marketing authorization of a medicinal product. Hydrolex 3AQ9A. Control test carried out to an intermediate state of the manufacturing process of herbal medicine product. Details of all control tests with details of test procedures and limits applied at any intermediate state of manufacturing process are required, especially if these tests cannot be performed on the herbal medicinal products. So control test for herbal medicinal products this section should be in accordance with the note for guidance on specification of control test of the finished product and the guidelines on the specification, test procedure and acceptance criteria for herbal substance, herbal preparation and herbal medicinal products and traditional herbal medicinal products. The analytical procedure should be validated according to ICH and VICH, International Council for harmonization of pharmaceutical products of human use and Veterinary International Council for Harmonization of Pharmaceutical Preparation. So validation of analytical procedure methods have to be specified. The control test of the finished product should allow the qualitative and the quantitative determination of composition of the active substance. A specification should be provided. This may include the use of markers where the constituents are known, therapeutic activity are unknown. And in case the herbal substance, these all are points which you have to write. In case the herbal substance or herbal preparation with constituents of known therapeutic activity, these constituents should be specified and quantitatively determined by assay. For traditional herbal medicine products, human, the vitamins, the minerals should also be specified and quantitatively determined. If the herbal medicine products containing combination of several herbal substance, suppose if it is a combination of herbal substance, the determination may be carried out jointly for several active substances, and the need for this procedure should be justified. That's what the guideline says. The criteria of pharmacopoeia: microbiological quality, the frequency of testing for microbiological contamination should be also justified. Stability test for any products, herbal products, the selection should be given according to with. There are 5 points which you should remember. Number 1, note the guidelines of stability test for new active substance and the products. Number 2, guidelines on stability testing for new veterinary drug substance and medicinal products. Number 3, note for the guidelines of stability testing of existing active substance and relative finished products. Number 4, note for guidelines in use stability testing for human medicinal products. And number 5, note for the guidelines on in-use stability testing of veterinary medicinal products, excluding immunological veterinary medicinal products. So these all are some of the guidelines which you should follow for stability testing. Then only we can give the date of expiry for the products. Stability of other substance in the herbal substance preparation should be demonstrated by means of appropriate fingerprinting chromatogram. What do you mean by fingerprinting chromatogram? Fingerprint, we might have talked about fingerprint, the aromaticity, and we might have studied it is linking with the gas chromatography and liquid chromatography. That is why fingerprint chromatography. Fingerprint IR spectroscopy, we might have seen the fingerprint region for the aromatic compounds, benzene compounds, and also we might have seen the centimeter inverse graph in the IR spectroscopy. Here, when we want to see a peaks which is having fingerprint, peaks can be used for isolating the compound directly using HPLC, and gas chromatography can be compared with the fingerprint chromatograms, which we can identify the compound and separation can be done. So if an herbal medicinal product containing combination, then we can go for fingerprinting chromatogram. The stability should be determined by appropriate fingerprinting chromatograms. Overall methods of assay and the physical and sensory tests can be performed. The herbal preparation with constituents of known therapeutic activity, the variation of the content during the proposed shelf life should not exceed plus 5% of the declared assay value. And for herbal preparation where constituents with known therapeutic activity are unknown, that means with known therapeutic activity are unknown. That means herbal preparation where constituents with known therapeutic activity are unknown. That means, for example, what we can say, which we are therapeutic activity are unknown. They are having a known therapeutic activity, but the preparations, the constituents, the value content, so in that case, why we are writing that unknown? Even when your therapeutic activity are not known, that means constituents are known, but therapeutic activity or still some research should be there. So the variation in the marker content during this purpose, shelf life is 10% of initial assay is allowed by the guidelines. So some definitions which I have given, which is also present in your handout, which are present there, and that you can go through like different definitions which can be seen like acceptance criteria, and which we can see constituents and known therapeutic activity, and drug extract ratio, which we have given some A to B like that examples. So when you read this, it will give you some details about what is genuine drugs and ratio of the herbal substance and genuine substance preparation, herbal medicinal products, herbal preparations. Herbal substance means what is the definition, and herbal teas and markers, active markers, analytical markers, quantification means what, solvent specifications and standardization, traditional herbal products definitions all have been incorporated. So just we can go through, this is a topic which is having the full details I have given, so just go through it. Thank you for listening.